Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is you're here. I'm glad you are. So, I'm Nancy, and we're gonna do a flip through of this journal I just finished. So, I did some really cool stuff in here that I will be probably doing some videos on a little bit later. So, this is the journal that I just finished, and it was a commission that I did for a friend. So here is the back spine. So the stitching is hidden. I'm wondering if this detail is going to show up on here. So this was a piece of vintage lace that I put on here, and I kind of blended it to match a little bit more with the cover. Here's the cover. I added some book corners on here as well because I thought it just looked pretty neat. So this has a hidden closure on the inside. It's magnetic. So there's a magnet here and there's a very sturdy magnet here. And what we have, something pretty cool in the front, which I will be doing a little video on these. So these are closures. They're supposed to look like wax seals, and they have a magnet in them as well. So there's a little magnet hidden inside there, and there's a little metal plate inside here. But these open up and then close again. There's two. So it's one of the requests was he wanted a place to put note cards. So blank ones in there that were placeholders to show how many could fit. Actually, more can fit in there if needed. So that's pretty cool. This book itself, the hardcover portion, was a loose leaf collection book that had like some metal bits and pieces in it to hold in loose leaf to go with an encyclopedia. So it was like an addendum to an encyclopedia, but it had been used, and I wish I had taken some photos of it. Somebody had instead used it as their postcard holder for postcards that they got from people. So it was filled when I got it. I got it at a little secondhand shop, and a pile of junk that was just sitting there, and it was super cool. It was filled with old postcards, so I have all of those too. So anyway, let's just get into looking at this some more. So we needed to do a very vintage feel for this, and there's lots of places to write. I used lots of vintage stuff and vintage looking things in here. So here's a little flip up, the little bit of, this is trim from an old pillowcase. Used some old music paper, some old cash book ledger paper, did some little details on some of the pages. Here's a little flip up envelope here. See if you can see this on camera. Not exactly. So this flips, and then we can put something in here. So I just have a little piece of some coffee dye in there just to kind of show my friend where he can put stuff. This is made for one of my good friends, and it's kind of like a character. It's in character for a game that we both participate in, and he wanted something special for his character. So I found some things, like this is written in French. I found this really cool book that was written in French, and some more ledger paper, some old maps. These are some fun little flip outs that also can be written in with a neat little thing going on here. Lots of stuff was in the brief that he gave me for what kind of needed to be added. So corner tuck, and I just have a couple little bits. I have a vintage postcard in here that I believe is German. So I stuck that in there. Some fun little tabs. This is paper that you can write your own music on. More kind of extra bits going on. Then this is a flip out here. So there we go. And he wanted a little bit of some religious stuff. So I have the 10 Commandments here, I think. Yes. And then some other interesting stuff. This is from an old Norwegian book that I have, a Norwegian history book that I love, that I've slowly been parceling out. Those foreign language books for me are not easy to find. So when I do find them, they kind of get thrown into stuff, a page here and there, kind of parcel them out. So here's a little fold out. So I have a little clip on this side, just holding it, little tiny paper clip. So this is a little flip out here. Distress these pages a bunch. This is just a piece of fly leaf that's really pretty. It was old. I thought it looked really nice. I don't really need the clip, but I think it kind of adds a little something extra. Some other little bits here that kind of went with the vibe. And they're just tucked under a paper clip. And of course, since this is a journal that I made for a friend, he can put things where he wants. I left a lot of empty space for him to be able to put stuff where he wanted it, to add some things. Here's like a journaling card piece. Little envelope that also I just tucked a little tag into for fun. And then this is another little fold out here. Another vintage postcard. And this is the book jacket page that I did a tutorial on. So you will see the tutorial on how I did this page to reinforce it as well. Another little clip. So here's the center of the book. It is stitched with actual bookbinding thread. Another little one here. Another flip out, some of my coffee dyed paper. This has the Nicene Creed on it. So these are some very specific things that he had requested that he wanted added in. A little bit off my norm from what I normally do, but they were requests and I made it happen, and I put them on some interesting paper. So more place to journal, some other fun maps. This I thought was really cool. It's actually a recipe, and then it goes along with this mural. This was from that French book again. I did lots of distressing on these pages because they were so shiny. So I actually used sandpaper and a little bit of gesso, and then I used some, oh, what did I use? It's early here. I haven't been up very long, so my mind is not awake. I've only had a couple sips of coffee so far. Distress oxide inks over top of it too. So, and then this side, of course, is another little flip out. And then I tucked a piece of that fly leaf in here again, because it's just really beautiful paper. Wish I had more of it, but you know, those things they are what they are. So this is just another text page. This is the other side of that Norwegian history book. And then I just have some other little bits of paper tucked in here. Same on this side. I just thought they looked really nice too. Here's another flip up from that map. So he can add more stuff there if you'd like. The other music page, I just did a little accent. This is eco-dyed. I had eco-dyed this paper. And then a lot of the pages too, I distressed to make them look old. This is their traditions for the game that we play. Then this gorgeous ocean, I did some splattering on it. I might go back through and do a little bit more splattering because I realized I kind of hadn't done that on some of the pages. This is crinkled, and then I used some Distress Oxide to enhance the wrinkles. Some more of that ledger paper. Another little flip out on this side, so holding some other little fun bits and pieces. On this side, clip that back on. Then here, this is a top tuck, and I have another vintage postcard from Moscow up here. So that's tucked up in there. And then more map page, that ledger. Then this is really a nice, This kind of just a little bit of stenciling on some of these pages does a lot. And then our very last page, so this is a tuck down here. So we have journaling cards, some little journaling papers. These are from a book about churches that I have, Baroque churches. So I found some that were appropriate to the different areas where he had requested he wanted some stuff from. So there's some more little bits tucked all into there as well. And then this page is super fun in that it flips open this way. So we have another map and another map. And those are all adhered to this page. So this is the last page of the actual journal portion. And then he had another request, which was he wanted to have a spot where he could have what we coined, what was it? Like a place where he could take notes, but he could tear them out so that they would not be permanently in his journal, but that he could use them because he keeps an electronic account of some things. So this is what I came up with. I had several of these notebooks that were plain, and what I did was I just made them to match. And let me grab the other two really quick. So I used some of the same papers. So here's the two replacements. So he's got one and then two replacement notebooks that fit into here. And I did the front and back covers of them. I did the edges so that they still match with our book. Same thing here. I just used a little bit different type of distress on these as well as the edge. And then this one is the same, but this one I went a little bit more extreme, and I actually inked the edges of every single page in here. And then this was part of the original spine of the book, and I took the other side out because there were two of these. So these two came in here and they had holes in various places where these metal posts went through. So this is how this book actually was constructed. So it had these two things like this, and then it had loose leaf pages that were put in with those. So instead, I ended up covering up this quite a bit and reinforcing the spine. And then I found this gorgeous silk cord in my stash. And it did not look like this. I added this detail onto the bottom and turned them into tassels. So these are jewelry findings that I clamped around the cord, and then I unwove the end to make this really pretty tassel on both ends of these. And then this can be untied if he wants to take it out or put it someplace different or tie it differently. But then this notebook, and it is loose like this in here so that it's got a little space. So when the book closes, this will not hit. So then this is just slid through there. And then the final bit, here's the back cover as well. And this is from the flyleaf in one of my very large, oh goodness, atlases. My atlas books that I have, my really old vintage ones that I like to collect. And I say collect, I mean, they're useful. I mean, I use them for my journals. So I had to revamp the closure, and because I revamped the closure after it was already fastened in here, because this ribbon is glued all the way in here. I should make sure I'm on screen here. I ended up making and having enough ribbon to make a pen holder. So this is not a fancy pen. I'm sure he has a much nicer pen. So he can put a pen in here or a pencil. And then this is our closure. And this also has a piece of the vintage lace that's glued and sewed on here. And the magnet is inside this little pocket. So I sewed that in there. That was tricky because it has a magnet, and using the sewing machine, there are metal parts. So then this is how it closes. So we put this like this. This lays here. You can hear that click. I love it. So that is the journal. Here's the back. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any specific questions about anything that you saw in here, please do let me know. I would love to hear your comments, your questions, because if you do ask me some questions in the comment section, I will try and answer. I answer as many comments as I possibly can. And if you want to see something, please let me know. I will definitely be showing how I made these. I need to get a new glue gun though before I can do that. So that'll be a purchase I will be needing, because these little fun guys I'm going to show you how to make. I might need to get another little thing for wax sealing as well. But they're super fun, and I will definitely be showing how I made these fun little closures, because they work so great. And I'm so happy again with how this turned out, because this is good. This is a great idea for little spots of ephemera in your book, in your journals. And I really want to share this with you guys and how I did this. So, okay, we'll leave it there. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, art with your heart. Thanks a lot. You guys have a good day.